So we can take this on level to level here and start with the defensive front. And again, just to spin off that narrative again, offensive line, defensive line seem to be those primary units on the field where, okay, you have to be at least strong, solid, if not spectacular, dynamic at that point of attack to compete in this conference, no doubt about it. So set us up on the defensive front.
It's going to be interesting, and I'm glad you put it that way. I'm glad you framed it that way because, and I know that this is probably the same point of emphasis for any team, especially the teams in Power 5 football. But in the SEC, you're nothing without line of scrimmage play. I mean, you're nothing. And last year, I said to you after spring camp, I was on your show, and I said, I've got questions about the defensive line. I feel a little bit better about where they're going there. And I feel like the line of scrimmage, I mean, I know we've already touched on offense, but Mark, they're returning 4 out of the 5 starting offensive linemen on the offensive line, and all those guys coming back, especially the center, all conference caliber guy, right? We're on the defensive line. I don't know if they have any all conference caliber guys yet. We just don't know enough. We've got this young man out of LSU who transferred in, Landon Jackson, long-bodied kid. I mean, you're talking about a guy that's 6'6", 6'7", like 270, I think 270 pounds, long arms, big hands, just a big dude. Unfortunately, he's not a full participant during the spring camp, but he's someone who I feel like his ceiling could be really high, and I'm not just saying that because he's coming out of LSU. He's someone you do need to keep an eye on, and, I'm hoping we get to see him towards the end of spring camp. I'm really excited to see, first off, what he looks like in a Razorback jersey, or a Razorback gear head to toe. But, really high ceiling. This was a kid that was highly rated out of high school, big time 4-star prospect, and LSU was kind of bummed to lose him. And reading some of their Twitter comments, they're going to, I think they know that they may have lost something here in him. You've got guys like Zach Williams, another, not a huge defensive end, but a guy that's around 6'3", 6'4", about 260. He may have slimmed down. I know they just posted those numbers, and it sounds like some guys actually lost some weight, gained more muscle, and kind of lost some of the baby fat. But Zach Williams is a guy on the defensive line to keep an eye on. Isaiah Nichols has been a kind of fascinating to watch. Not a real long guy. He's going to end up probably playing. He could end up at the nose guard spot, 6'2", 6'3", about 300 pounds. You've got Torrin Carter, Cameron Ball in the mix there. These are all, 6'3". Now, Cameron Ball is actually a little bit bigger. He's kind of an athletic freak, actually. Cameron Ball is 6'5". I think he's about 310, 315. He'll be a redshirt freshman. That is someone who, when I go to the open practice that they're going to have, I think it's on, oh man, when is that? I want to say it's I don't know when it is. I'm going to get caught up on that. But when they do have the open scrimmage, again, they're not doing a red-white scrimmage. They're going to do an open scrimmage, though, a little bit different atmosphere. I'm going to keep an eye on I think he's number 92, Cameron Ball. The big question, I think, on the defensive line, not only, Jackson, and, of course, you've got this Georgia Tech transfer, Jordan Dominic, who, this kid hits the portal, and a lot of schools were making contact, and I think Arkansas was one of the first. You're going to keep an eye on the defensive line, but not just the names and numbers. It's going to be, how do they line up front? Are they going to go with the 3-man front, or are they gearing up? Because it certainly looks that way to me. Maybe we're finally going to get a chance to see that 4-2 front that that the media around here has kind of talked about a bit. I think Sam Pittman made a comment, maybe not last year, but the year before, how they kind of want to eventually get to a situation where they can run multiple fronts. Hog fans saw a little bit of the 4-man front last year, but not a lot. They didn't go after the quarterback a lot. They didn't blitz the quarterback a lot. So that to me, not only just through spring camp, but also when the season comes around, and it'll be here before we know it, how aggressive are they on defense? How often are they, firing on all cylinders to come after the quarterback? So more blitzes and more blitz packages, and what's the front situation going to be like? Are they going to run a 3-man front? Are they going to run a 4-man front? I don't always tend to, they'll come out and say something, Sam Pittman will, and then we'll kind of see the opposite happen. So I think also you might take some of what he says with a grain of salt. I don't know if that's strategy or if it's just an ever-evolving situation, but yeah, the defensive line I feel like is in better shape compared to where we were at this time last year for sure.